Hey travel creators, welcome back to the only podcast made for you if you're trying to trade your content time for travel time. Organizing your content can suck, big time. And there's so many opinions on what you should do and what you should use, and so many tools to get it done. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Things I wouldn't do if you are a content creator, a travel content creator who is trying to rein in all of your content. Let's get into it. So I personally love Asana, but I try to tell my clients and to tell folks that you should use a tool that you know you will actually not give up on. It's so easy to get shiny object syndrome and want to use the next best thing, the next most beautiful platform and most beautiful thing. But the reality is you'll make a new account for something, you'll forget the password, you'll go to reset it, and then you'll end up going back to what you were using before because it was easy and that's what you were using and it just makes sense. Let's lean into that and figure out a way to make what you're already using work. As we know, life moves fast, especially as a travel content creator, so taking the time to learn a new system can be really intimidating. If you're a creator who wants to organize your content but you're feeling stressed about it, here are the things you should not be doing. Don't do these things. I would first not store my content in a bunch of different digital locations. You've got the camera roll, you've got the photos, you've got all of the things, all of the places. Maybe there's some floating around on your desktop or your downloads folder on your computer. Like I mentioned, you should choose something that makes sense to your brain. Where does it make sense to your brain to house those, even if it is in multiple tools or multiple locations? I know creators who use Dropbox, Google Photos, literally everything. So use something that you already know how to, and that makes sense for your brain. What really does help, though, is to have a folder or a file structure to organize your content. So don't worry about organizing your past content. We're going to forget about that. It's already done. Just start now by organizing your current content. Start now by organizing the current content you're taking into at least named folders. I would recommend naming these folders by location of the content you shot rather than naming them by the date. So put Longboat Key, Florida rather than January, Trust me on this one. You're most likely going to be searching by location for content than by date because you're going to be going back and looking for that video of you in San Juan instead of, oh my gosh, was it January or was it February? I was there. But the piece that you're looking for is from San Juan. So just name it San Juan. I would also not skip picking a niche. I know some creators don't want to pigeonhole themselves into a certain side of the internet where they feel like they can only share about one topic or one aspect of travel creation. And I get it. There's so many things we're passionate about. But amidst all of the things that you're sharing about, I bet you can find common themes or one common thread that keeps coming back together, that keeps coming through all of these things you're passionate about. Everyone wants to inspire people to travel, which is cool, whatever. But it is really hard to motivate people on a general level. If you say to someone, go do the thing, what are you waiting for? They might be like, what the fuck? But if you are specifically motivating them, you're going to have better results. For example, you could say something like, you should go to X destination because it's budget friendly and a great place to explore without spending a lot of money. I guarantee the response will be better because the motivation is specific. You have to tell somebody why they should do the thing, but you can't tell them why unless you know what their why is. I give you this long tangent to remind you that you need to know your target audience and their goals and what they want. And one of the best ways to do this is to ask them. Oftentimes the content we consume is the content we like to create, which is never a bad thing. If you are a little too nervous to ask people in your audience what they really want or what their goals are, what they want to see from you, ask yourself first, because it's likely you are creating content that you like to consume. I would also not plan your content out weekly. Yes, I think planning a month in advance works well. And I know this can sound super intimidating and some people might come for me for this, but what I mean by this, and a way to make this a little bit less daunting, is you don't have to have all of the content polished for the entire month right when it hits the first day of that new month. If you have at least a rough idea of what you want to share, what kind of post is going out on that day, it will make a big difference. Just having an idea of what your content should be, or you have a vision of what it could look like on a monthly basis, and then you can execute on a weekly basis, which is so much easier. I don't recommend executing on a daily basis either, because it does take so much time. Like all of a sudden you're creating a reel and it's taken 30 minutes when in your head you're like, oh cool, just do this thing in 5 minutes. No, it will be so much more efficient and faster if you just sit down for an hour and batch the entire week. Promise. Pinky swear. So those are my short, quick tips on what the heck I would not do as a travel creator who is trying to make the content creation process so much easier, or like not hate yourself later when you actually are going back into your content to create more. If you are a travel creator who wants to get more done in less time, and you probably are if you're listening to this, you might be a great fit for travel creator coaching. This is coaching for creators who feel confident in their social media skills, but they want accountability and personalized support as they aim to grow in this creator space. So if you want a content developer in your corner, and to be honest, someone who is going to be a great person to grab virtual coffee with, I am your content developer. I've left for you a link in the show notes if you want to learn more about how the heck to get more done in your content creation journey in less time. If you're interested about learning more, if creator coaching is going to be the best fit for you. In today's creator shout out, we get to shout out the awesome Dianni Hall. She is a digital nomad and podcaster, and she teaches women how to become freelance podcast producers from anywhere in the world. And she currently has a free workshop, which is called Make Money While Traveling Workshop. And she's going to teach you how to become a freelance podcast manager. And it's going to be incredible. Anything Dianni touches, I would love to see. She's just like gold. Dianni also hosts the podcast While She Is Away, where she interviews women in travel, and she interviews anyone who is a budget backpacker to a freaking luxury expert. She helps women live their best lives while traveling around the world, both on her podcast and on her Instagram. I will leave linked in the show notes for you all of her little links so that you can go connect with Dianni. Tell her I sent you. Okay? Tell her I sent you. Happy creating, and I'll see you next week.